Hello everyone, I am documenting my adventures with this horse. She came to me, when she was like 3. She only had 10 rides on her, got sold to an owner, they barely did anything with her, and now she made her way to me. And I haven't worked with her in about a week. So this was pretty amazing that she kind of retained everything that I taught her before. And on top of that, I was able to do 2 new things with her, and I only expected to do one, and I thought it was going to make this session run overtime. I didn't cut anything out of this. I do kind of mess with the speeds a little bit because I want to show you guys everything that's happening. This is just the session. Before I did this, I was in the arena for probably about 3 minutes, just kind of doing desensitizing, yielding her hindquarters. And then I realized I should probably take out my phone because I remembered that I wanted to document this. So she is a made for feed, not speed horse. And so I'm just kind of going around lunging her a little bit, letting her stretch out as much as, she will. And then with this lunging, I was just focused on her stopping, giving me 2 eyes facing me. And I don't like it when they stop with their hindquarters slinged out or if they want to come straight to me. So she's doing a really good job of respecting my space. This horse had a tendency to kind of want to be all up on you, and she just wanted to give you loves or whatever, and that's cool and all, but within the first day I got her, I went to do something with her and she swung her head at me, and I was like, okay, well, that was kind of uncalled for. So it's really good that now she's been a little more respectful of my space, and she gives me really nice stops right there. So I haven't done overly too much with this horse. I've probably ridden her about a total of only 4 times. So when I do post videos of me riding her, it's not like it's the first time I ride her or anything like that. One thing that I really love about this horse is that she understands how to give to pressure. So, which is really helpful because, an emergency stop, that's her way of coming to me, and that's my way of being hey, we need to get together, we need to come back to safety here. She's a little slow on the backing up. Like I said, she just kind of wants to be in your space. So, when I first got her, she didn't want to back up at all. So this was some serious progress. Now, this exercise that I'm doing this right here is called yielding the forequarters, and I hate it with a passion. And the reason I hate it is because usually a lot of the horses that come to me, they don't know how to do it. And it took me probably about 5 sessions to get it solid with my mare Shani. And so she has a couple of moments where she kind of wants to get stuck a little bit. And so I'll kind of reset her, make sure I'm in front of the camera, and just try to give, solid pressure, solid cues. I had to get on her right there because she was really kind of committing to her mistake, and she wanted to walk forward and kind of into me to try to get me to go away. And your goal with this is that you want their hind quarters to stay relatively in the same place, and you want them to pivot. So kind of like how those reiners do those spins, that's what we're doing, but it's on the ground. And so this side is kind of her more difficult, stiffer side. And we had a couple of problems where she kind of wanted to lock her feet up and just kind of, stand there. And with her, she's a really stocky horse. If she doesn't want to move, she's not going to. So you see me a couple times kind of get harsh on her and tell her to quit locking her feet up. And it worked, because then eventually she kind of came around. And so I'm just trying to kind of find different ways to let her know, yeah, this is what I want. So when she gives me one crossover, correct, and she's not tripping over, I just released it. And, she might be better on it on the other side, but, we have to get this side done, too. And so, and just the same thing, and me trying to really get her to understand what the concept is. And I started figuring out, well, she probably wants a purpose. She wants to understand why we're doing this instead of me just nagging her trying to get the other step. So what I ended up doing is that if she crossed over, I would walk in the direction, and that would be kind of her way to be oh, I should follow. So then she understands that she wanted to give it another step, and before she even did that, I was yeah, you did a good job, and just released and walked on. And I think that really kind of helped her get the light bulb on. And that's me just kind of moving her hindquarters away to make sure that she knows the difference. And so it wasn't the best right there, so I kind of kept going, and then when she gave that one step, I just released it, said great, cool, moved on with my life. So over here I'm going back to the lunging, but this time I'm adding changes of direction while lunging instead of stopping. And like I said, this horse does not like to really go past a walk. You know, she's kind of the lazier horse. I'm hoping to make her like a nice like rope horse. She's stocky for it, or even if a kid wants to start doing gymkhanas and stuff, because she's not the type of horse that's going to want to like bolt off on you. And man, is she smart. So you can kind of see me going off to the side here. And then this is called the sending exercise, and the whole point of it is to get your horse to understand that you can send them into a tight space. They don't need to be finicky. But usually what ends up happening is that when we're so solid we're on the same page, she's just like, yeah, I got it, no problem. And she gave me a couple good ones and I didn't want to push it. I'm just going to do some desensitizing here with the whip because we haven't used it for this session. The first time I brought out a whip and I used to do desensitizing with her, she would like lose her marbles. And so, you know, this is good progress. And like I said, when we start doing a session, we're just already tuned in. Like, usually fireworks don't happen. Then the next time I do the session, I can jump right into this. And she's, like I said, she's just smart. She can remember it. So this is the new thing I was talking about. And I hate doing this. I'm not going to lie. But it's really beneficial. And it can kind of teach your horse to stay off of you, stay off of the lead rope when they're lunging. And they need to bend around and they need to follow you. And so this is, like I said, her first time doing this. Real footage right here. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, how can I let her know that she needs to keep moving forward. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to send off her in a lunge. Once she gets, I'm going to put the whip over, move my belly button forward, because I want her to kind of work around me. And when you're doing the circle driving, you don't really want to lunge them, because what ends up happening is that the whip kind of pushes them out from you. And so this is very much is a clear difference from just, you know, normal lunging. And this is, you know, we want to kind of bend their rib cage, like I said, get off the lead rope, all the stuff like that. And so, like, it's something that, like, yeah, you could skip, but considering this isn't a horse that I'm going to keep, like, she is a resale project, I'm like, she needs all the solid foundations. And so I was like, come on, like, let's trot. Like, you got some extra weight to lose, lady. And she got it. Like I said, and Shani had a really hard time with this, even when I was positioning myself correctly. She just kind of wanted to run, or she got confused and she didn't understand, you know, why the whip was on her. And it was a huge thing. So I'm changing directions here, and I'm not stepping forward because, like I said, I kind of tried to step forward and she's like, oh, I don't really know. So once I kind of established it, I started to get kind of the gist that, you know, if I kind of send her off in a lunge, let her take a step, and then kind of position myself, she sticks with that a little better. And here I'm trying to get her to trot. And here she comes. So as you can see, you know, she's trying to kind of figure out how to bend that rib cage. I don't think she's ever really moved like this before, because, like, she's a really stiff horse. She was sitting for a while, and, you know, she didn't have someone that, like, did all the crazy stuff with her. But I was just so immensely proud of this horse, and this is a bummer. I didn't realize we stepped away from the camera, but I was able to do consistent change of directions without having to stop and reset. I could just change the direction on the fly, and she got it. It was literally picture perfect, like she's been doing it for years.
My God. I've never had a session that easy fucking circle driving in my whole life.
But yeah, this horse is something special. And right here, I'm doing something I've never done with her. And, oh, I guess I did 3 new things. And just walking around and just kind of slapping and making all this crazy noise. So this isn't exactly the same as desensitizing. This is like I think it's called like the helicopter exercise. And it's just, instead of on the side of her and kind of whacking the whip, I'm putting it, you know, left and right in front of her face. As you can see, I'm swinging the whip above her head. And she did not care. And so, like I said, insane improvements from when I first got this horse. And, you know, she's looking around and she's like, is there anything else we can do? Like, this is boring. But yeah, and so, I mean, I love the groundwork stuff, and I want to start really documenting her progress, and I thought I'd do a little voiceover and show you guys. But yeah, this is Miss Khaleesi, and I think she's going to be a really cool project, and I'm glad I get to show her all to you.
got lucky with this one. God, I thought it was going to be an hour session.